Over the last 18 months, we've seen a resurgence in America of mid-sized trucks. It all started with the second generation Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon. That was followed by the Tacoma, which is the segment leader, and now we have the 2017 second generation Honda Ridgeline. This is an interesting vehicle because it really kind of breaks the mold for what a truck is. In fact, it's the only unibody truck that you can buy in America today. I say that today because I anticipate there'll be some others just down the road, maybe Hyundai Santa Cruz. The big question for the Honda Ridgeline is, does it have the chops to compete with the big boys in the segment, the Tacoma and the Colorado? I can tell you 10 years ago, I actually leased this truck for a year. I needed a truck, I wanted something cheap, and this was the best option. I took a lot of abuse from friends, and there's a reason why I chose this place, a construction site, to shoot this video. Because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Construction sites are synonymous with pickup trucks. I haven't seen too many Ridgelines out here, but it's a new truck. I expect there might be some down the road. The Ridgeline is powered by a 3.5-liter V6 engine that produces 280 horsepower and made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Front-wheel drive, that's right, front-wheel drive is standard and all-wheel drive is optional. Pickup trucks are historically known for launching new and innovative ideas. Chevy has the in-step bumper, which I really like, lets you get into the bed, and that's a very important feature for a lot of truck owners. So we have the tailgate, and you're familiar with this feature. Of course, this does not have the dampening tailgate. There's a reason for that, because what you do have is this dual action tailgate. I can tell you from owning one of these that this is a very nice feature to have. Gives you a lot more reach into the bed. One of the features I really liked about my old Ridgeline that they carried over into the second generation Ridgeline is this lockable storage unit inside the bed. A lot of space here. You can use it as a cooler, you can use it to store tools if you're on the construction site. It's lockable, it's very handy. It's even got a drain plug, so if you do use it as a cooler, you don't have to scoop the water out. Very thoughtful, and the reason they can get away with this, again, is because it's front-wheel drive bias, so you have a lot more room underneath the frame. You don't have a frame, it's a unibody. You can do a lot more. That's one of the advantages the Ridgeline has over its competitors. From a driving dynamics, I think the Honda Ridgeline actually has an edge over the competitors. It's just a smoother riding vehicle. Some people like the truck ride and feel, and if you're looking for that, this is not your truck. But if you want something that is more refined, like a crossover, yet still has a lot of the functionality and capability of a pickup truck, this is your truck. I was a little disappointed that the fuel economy wasn't better, considering that you save a lot of weight with the unibody construction. Probably about 400 or 500 pounds versus what this vehicle would weigh if it was a body on frame. I think Honda's still got some work to do with their engine technology to make it a little more efficient, as well as some of the weight savings. Maybe look at aluminum for the next generation, and they probably are, because just about everybody is. So back to the Ridgeline, as you can see, we have Apple CarPlay, which I'm a big fan of. I think it's great technology. The Colorado has it as well, but the Tacoma does not. They've opted to kind of stay away from that. Overall, I think this is a great second step for Honda. It's a process to get American buyers, traditional pickup truck buyers, to want to embrace a unibody truck, but it's inevitable. Fuel economy is the main driver. As mentioned, a little disappointed that this doesn't have better fuel efficiencies as a result of the unibody construction, but you get other advantages, like the ability to do the in-bed storage unit that we talked about. Great turning radius, great general handling. One of the disappointments I have about this black edition, it's a $44,000 truck, the top of the line, and it's got some very non-aggressive tires on it. When you look at the Colorado Z71, the Tacoma TRD Off-Road, they're top of the line vehicles. They come with pretty aggressive tires. We tried to do some light off-roading, and it wasn't the all-wheel drive system, it was just the tires couldn't handle it. So we're hoping to get a follow-up unit with some more aggressive tires. Maybe the Sport will come with something a little more aggressive. But for now, very refined interior, a big improvement from the outgoing model, not just the Apple CarPlay, but all the controls. A lot of the interior and technology was taken from the Honda Pilot. It's the same platform, so why not? If it's good enough for a big 7 or 8 passenger crossover, should be good enough for a mid-sized truck. And so far so good. It's really proven to be a very nice daily driver. You have this button down here which lets you go from normal, snow, mud, and sand. This is their intelligent traction management system, which we've seen in other Honda products, and it works quite nicely. The second row is equally functional to its competitors, so I'm not going to go into it. The seats fold up, so you have some nice storage space if you need it, and if you don't, then they fold down and they're relatively comfortable, given that it's a mid-sized truck. You have pretty good leg room, great headroom, as you can see. Got 3 or 4 inches above my head, and in general, just like the controls. Starting price is around $29,000, which is kind of on par with the competitors. But what you're really going to do is spend about $34,000, $35,000 for a nicely equipped one. So what is the bottom line on the Ridgeline? Would I recommend it? The answer is yes, depending on what you're looking for. One of the complaints of the outgoing Ridgeline was the styling. It just didn't look truck-like enough. In fact, it didn't have this separation from the bed to the body, and now they've kind of done something about it. They've added this kind of fake line. It's still a unibody, and you don't have a separate bed as you do in the Tacoma and the Colorado, but at least it has the appearance of a separate bed. Beyond that, I like what they've done. The changes are much better. It still just doesn't feel like a truck. So if capabilities are really important to you, let's take a look at some of those. Well, from a horsepower standpoint, it's on par with the competition. It's all-wheel drive system. It's a pretty intelligent all-wheel drive system, has different features, but it's not a traditional all-wheel drive 4x4 system. It's more of an all-wheel drive system. So from that regard, maybe deduct a point there if you need that kind of capability. Ground clearance, 8 inches, 8.2 in the Colorado, 9.2 on the TRD off-road. So you really need that. You may want to get the Tacoma, but we did a recent test between the Colorado and the Tacoma, and that 1 inch difference didn't really make a difference. Towing does make a difference. 3,500 to 5,000 pounds on the Ridgeline. When you look at the Tacoma, you're much higher, around 6,500, 6,600. You look at the like Duramax, for example, you're over 7,700 for a rear-wheel drive Colorado Duramax. So if towing is important to you, you may want to opt for one of those other trucks. But you got to ask yourself, how are you using this truck on a daily basis? So we're here at the construction site. I think if you're the lead architect, you got to carry some plans. You don't have any serious off-roading, but you just need that capability of having a bed to haul some things. This might be the perfect truck for you. You're not going to get a huge fuel economy advantage. We experienced a little bit better than the Tacoma, but nowhere near what the Colorado Duramax gets. So bottom line, it really comes down to what you need. I'd make a list of how you're going to use that truck. If you're only going to go and do serious off-roading 1 or 2 days a year, you may not want the rougher ride of a Colorado or a Tacoma. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.